I'm bored of Marvel Rivals. I know it's only been out for like half a year at this point, but I'm starting to not get as interested anymore. I used to do all the missions, try to get all the skins. I'm a Storm main and I wanted that Storm Venom skin. I didn't get it because I just couldn't bring myself to play the game enough. So what's going on? What's wrong? So I thought I'd go ahead and I'd play some games and figure out what about it is wrong. And I think it's the Vanguards and the supports. Of course, I had to play some matches for myself to just get like a fresher view. I hadn't been enjoying my last few games, but I was also on a losing streak. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna play support to see how it feels. And then support and tank were filled up. So I got to play Moon Knight. That never happens to me. And you know what? I had such a friggin' blast. I was having so much fun. I was getting so much kills. I was getting so much instant gratification from playing DPS. And it was like, my team was so good, and I managed to get MVP, the most kills, the most final hits. I was feeling really, really good about myself. I was like, oh, maybe this game actually is super duper fun. And you know when you're like the nice, well-behaved kid in a class, the teacher will put you with the like rowdy kids as a punishment for them? Yeah, if that's what it felt like happened. I was struggling so much, and like, let me preface, I'm an Invisible Woman main. I'm not a great Invisible Woman main, but I am an Invisible Woman main, and I was still just, I wasn't really having fun. And I don't think this game should only be fun if you're winning, you know? It should just feel fun to play. And it was like, it was okay, you know? But it was still a struggle. The only fun bit was when I was doing DPS things, like finally shoving someone off of a cliff as Invisible Woman. I've wanted to do it for so long. Yeah! Finally! I ended up switching to Loki, which was a little more fun, and I think I got more healing in. But still, it was just, I don't know, I was missing the exhilaration that you get with being a DPS. And I've always been a support main. Since like Team Fortress 2, I always played medic. So it's like, I play support, I don't dislike support. But there's something missing. Next, I decided to play a Vanguard game. Now, Vanguard is my least played role. And it's because it's kind of hard to do, you know? Like, whenever I play Vanguard, we have a tendency to lose because I kind of suck. Like, I try my best, and I fill when I can. Like, I try my best to not make people solo tank unless I'm forced to play healer. But here, someone chose Emma, so I got to be Venom, and I wasn't alone, and that was so much more fun. Solo tanking is kind of a miserable experience, especially for someone not great. And it's like, a lot of the things people would be like, well, if you know how to play the game, if you get better, if you get higher elo, and it's like, the game should be for average players. You shouldn't be a like high-level comp player to have fun. And also, I don't play comp. I played another tank round just to be sure, just because that last one, my team was weirdly nice and good. And this one I was made to solo tank, which is pretty typical. I went with Emma. I did a video where I recorded playing her for like a few hours, but I haven't released it yet because it burnt me out on Rivals so bad. I was like, oh, I'm gonna play her for 10 hours. I've gotten to 2, and my ADHD, it can't handle it. I was struggling so bad as a solo tank, and like I was making a lot of pretty poor plays, but I was just trying so hard to make room because the enemy team had 2 tanks and there was only us. Someone did end up switching tank, which was really nice, but it was still so hard to push at all and like hold my own. It was just, I don't know how to explain it, like, because I suck at tank, but someone's gotta play. I switched to Venom for a bit, but I just wasn't getting enough damage output, and you know, again, poor plays, but after a certain point, I just said fuck it and played Penny for the first time, and I actually had some fun with her. Like, she's mechanically interesting, but like, you know, not very tanky, doesn't protect the team very well. She's kind of the more DPS-y of the tanks, kind of like Emma. So it's like, maybe I just want to play DPS. Quick interjection, I just launched a brand new YouTube channel with my friends. There is an hour's worth of content on there. There are 3 videos on there already. They're all really funny. There's a Marvel Rivals video if you want to watch that. We're doing a challenge with Punisher. So go check it out. It's really good. This is months in the making. Link in the description. It's called 6ish. So Strategist and Vanguard are fun, but not as fun as DPS, especially like Vanguard just feels difficult and clunky. What can we do to break this down? Because I'm so tired of having 4 DPSs on a team. We need the other 2 roles to be more pickable, please. I'm gonna dive into Strategist first because that is what most people still secondary is like. Nobody wants to play Vanguard. Some people want to play Strategist. One big thing with me is a lot of the strategists aren't very mechanically interesting. Like, I love the Overwatch supports. I bring up Overwatch a lot just because it's such a similar game. My favorite support is Lifeweaver because the things you can do with his platform and his life grip are so interesting and fun. And like even the basic healer, Mercy, has her flying, which is really fun and interesting. While like, I don't like Ultron. He can fly, yeah, but most of his mechanics are just kind of clunky feeling. I don't like him. The majority of the supports in this game have the same fucking gameplay. It's just like put your ice thing on him, put your damage boost on them, just make sure you're putting your shield on them or putting your rune, I think that's what it's called, your rune on them, and then you shoot things and then you sometimes do you press E, you might bring them back to life. It is so simple. Like, yeah, in my comparison to Overwatch, there are simple healers. Like, Yachty is just kind of Rocket Raccoon without the revival. But still, the pylon brings interest, because you gotta place your little healing thing kind of cool, which is maybe kind of like Cloak and Dagger's bubble, but it lasts longer. Kiriko is just a very clicky healer, but her teleportation is really cool. I asked a few of my friends, like, hey, why don't you play tank, or why don't you play support? And one of my friends who actually does play support was talking about, like, she prefers DPS because she can defend herself. It's so annoying to get jumped over and over and over again. It's not fun. And, like, yeah, you can practice, but sometimes it's just, like, I would like an easy character. Like, with Mercy, it's easy to get away. With Moira, it's easy to teleport away. Which, you know, you can still get caught, you know, but if there were more easy healers that had some fun to them, because, like, Luna is boring, you know? I think what it really boils down to with Strategist is we need more heroes with more interesting mechanics. I think there should be an equal number of Vanguards, Duelists, and Strategists. It'd be easier that way. I know so many heroes lend themselves to the DPS category, but we need more healers. Because honestly, it's such a sin that Rocket Raccoon is such a simple character, because he's Rocket fucking Raccoon. He should have some crazy things going on with him. There should be more difficult strategists. There should be more fun, easy strategists. There needs to be more going on, because it's just kind of point and click at this point. Because even though it's point and click, like, it's not easy and it's not very gratifying, you know? Like, there's something so gratifying about pulling off a silly little tech with Lifeweaver and like canceling someone's ult, and you don't get that as much with the supports. And of course, like any game, there's the thanklessness of being a support, because if you don't know how to handle yourself against a Black Panther yet, no one else is gonna help you. This is a team game, but there's like no chivalry anymore, and I don't get it, because like I always try my best when I'm a DPS or a tank to help out my healers and help out other people, but there's this weird like, I want to be the most badass and I don't care if my team isn't gonna, you know, help me out, or if I need to help my team, and it's strange. But I'm trying to think of like ways that the game itself could be fixed, because it's kind of hard to change a whole fan base, but I think part of it is like the want to get MVP every time. Like, I feel it. I feel that competitiveness to be like, I want to be the best. And like, game design has always been my weak point when it comes to game development. Like, I can do the art, I can program. That was a lie, I can't program. But I definitely can't design things like game mechanics and stuff. But I think I can still identify when something is wrong. So, like, I played a few more rounds of tank, and, like, the first one I played Magneto. And it was just kind of miserable. People were like, oh, just swap to healer. We don't need a tank, just give us healers. And I was like, what? And like solo tanking is so miserable, and they were all just fighting over who got to be the DPS in the chat, and it's just like, yeah, everyone wants to be DPS. Nobody wants to be tank, nobody wants to be support. And I just found his gameplay was boring, and there wasn't a lot of feedback. Like when I used his dart, I couldn't tell where it was or what it was doing. Like there was a clunkiness to the feeling. And when I asked my friends, that seems to be a common thing, is it's just like tank feels slow, it's less intuitive, and it's like, it's tough to tell what's working and what's not. Especially, tanks don't do a lot of damage. Like, yeah, you should still be trying to get kills, but it's kind of tough, especially when you're focusing on protecting your team. And with the slowness comes a difficulty when it comes to peel. I went Penny the next round, which was a lot more fun, but she is very DPS-y. Like, she doesn't have a lot of abilities to shield teammates and protect. But luckily, I had another tank with me, so they worked better as an off tank. So maybe it's just like, I prefer off tanks, but like main tanks are so clunky. The ones that are able to protect teammates just feel rough to play. Yeah, it was fun until we ended up with only one support because no one wanted to play support. And it was like, I was able to protect them pretty well at least, but still like getting healed and supported was a struggle. And of course, you know, I play quick play or whatever it's called in this game, so people are going to be a little more fast and loose with it. But it's just, the team mentalities are missing a little bit, which is sad because it's a team game. But I don't know how to fix Vanguard besides adding more of them. That is definitely the same thing. Like, more variety in mechanics. Like, I would love to see more characters that move faster but are also, like, able to put up shields. I don't entirely know, and I'm struggling so hard to figure out what the fuck is wrong with Vanguard. But besides, I guess it is just team mentality. So there's nothing, you know, like NetEase can really do besides just make more Vanguards, make fun Vanguards. So, these issues, what can be done about them? Can there be anything done about them? I think so. Like, I think people are always going to want the instant gratification and feeling like a badass of Duelist. But I do think it is possible to get more players who actually want to, like, fill tank and such. If, for one, there's more tanks and healers that are fun, like I said earlier, but also, we just as a community need to work on being nicer to each other and being team players and being able to fill and being able to communicate better without being, like, pissed on, be like, hey, I need another tank, without being yelled at, be like, well, you're bad, so therefore, just being able to be nice to each other and be team players, I think will genuinely help so much, will make people tilt less, will make playing less miserable, and I'm sure it'll make comp easier. Again, I don't play comp. Well, there's a reason. It's because everyone's fucking miserable on there. I hope you guys enjoyed my yap session. I managed to find a joy in the gameplay even more because of this. So, you know, it isn't a total lost cause, but I do think there are issues to be addressed. So let me know your thoughts. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe what I said makes no sense. Anyway, if you made it this far, I would appreciate a like and a comment. Tell me about what you're feeling, and maybe a subscribe. That'd be pretty darn cool. My foot is very broken, so you should, like, pity subscribe. I'm, like, so close to 2,000 subscribers, y'all. I need to get it. I need to get it. As always, have a lovely, lovely day.